Welcome back to Growth Diggers. I'm Akanksha Das, Director of Marketing and Communications at Growth Natives. Today, we're discussing a topic that many founders, CMOs, and revenue leaders struggle with: the difference between a GTM launch partner and a long-term GTM partner. Companies often bring in external partners during a product launch. But what happens after the launch momentum slows? Should your GTM partner stay involved long-term? And what really separates a short-term execution partner from a long-term strategic growth partner? To break this down, I'm joined by Taran Nandha, founder and CEO of Growth Natives. Taran, great to have you on the show.
Thanks, Akanksha. This is an important topic because many companies confuse campaign execution with sustained growth strategy.
Let's start with clarity. What exactly is a GTM launch partner?
A GTM launch partner is typically brought in for a specific milestone, launching a product, entering a new market, or driving early traction. Their focus is speed and execution. They help define positioning, messaging, campaign rollout, media strategy, and sometimes sales enablement for the launch window. The engagement is often time bound and outcome specific.
So it's event-driven rather than life-cycle-driven.
Exactly. The objective is momentum, not necessarily long term optimization.
What does a strong launch partner typically do well?
Three things: rapid positioning clarity, aggressive market activation, campaign level execution. They help you move fast. They align messaging with market opportunity. They generate visibility and initial pipeline. Launch partners are great at igniting attention. But attention is not the same as sustainable revenue.
Where do companies go wrong with a launch-only mindset?
They assume launch success equals market success. But launches create spikes. Sustainable growth requires systems. After the initial campaigns end, many companies struggle with lead nurturing, conversion optimization, pipeline velocity, customer retention, expansion revenue. Without a long term GTM strategy, momentum fades.
So what defines a long-term GTM partner?
A long-term GTM partner focuses on building repeatable, scalable revenue systems.
They don't just help you enter the market, they help you win it. They think beyond campaigns. They look at ICP refinement, messaging evolution, funnel optimization, revenue operations, customer lifecycle strategy, retention and expansion frameworks. It's about building infrastructure, not just excitement.
That's interesting. Infrastructure versus excitement. Can you expand on that?
Launch partners think in campaigns, long term partners think in systems. Campaigns generate bursts of demand. Systems ensure predictable growth. For example, generating 1,000 leads during launch is impressive. But if your conversion rate is low and your sales cycle is inefficient, revenue won't scale. Long term partners optimize the entire funnel, not just the top.
Is there also a mindset difference between the two types of partners?
Absolutely. Launch partners measure success by launch metrics: impressions, MQLS, traffic, initial pipeline. Long term partners measure success by revenue metrics: ARR growth, CAC efficiency, LTV expansion, retention rates. They take ownership beyond marketing vanity metrics. They align closely with sales and customer success.
How does data play into this difference?
Launch data is short term performance data. Long term GTM data is lifecycle intelligence. A long term partner analyzes conversion rates across stages, sales cycle length, churn signals, customer acquisition cost trends, expansion timing. They use data to refine strategy continuously. Launch partners optimize campaigns. Long term partners optimize revenue architecture.
Markets change quickly. How does a long-term partner help companies adapt?
Markets evolve, competitors reposition, customer behavior shifts. A long term GTM partner continuously recalibrates messaging, target segments, channel allocation, budget distribution, sales enablement frameworks. Launch partners are reactive to a specific event. Long term partners build adaptability into the strategy.
How important is cross-functional alignment in this conversation?
It's critical. Launch campaigns often sit primarily with marketing. Long term GTM strategy integrates marketing, sales, product, and customer success. For example, if marketing attracts enterprise leads but sales is structured for SMB deals, friction occurs. A long term partner aligns messaging with sales readiness and product capability. Alignment reduces leakage in the funnel.
What typically happens 6 months after a big launch?
Energy declines. Campaign budgets stabilize. Pipeline velocity slows. That's when weaknesses become visible. If your onboarding isn't optimized, churn rises. If your sales qualification is weak, conversion drops. If your ICP wasn't properly defined, CAC increases. Launch hides structural flaws. Long-term GTM exposes and fixes them.
Some companies see long-term partnerships as expensive. How should leaders think about this?
Short-term thinking focuses on cost. Long-term thinking focuses on ROI. A launch partner is an expense for momentum. A long-term GTM partner is an investment in predictable revenue. If they improve retention by even 5%, lifetime value increases significantly. If they shorten sales cycles, cash flow improves. Strategic GTM impacts valuation.
From your experience as a founder, when should a company transition from launch partner to long-term partner?
When growth plateaus or when complexity increases. If your team struggles with scaling pipeline predictably, managing multi-channel acquisition, improving conversion rates, expanding customer lifetime value, that's when long-term GTM strategy becomes essential.
Are there red flags that indicate you only have a launch-focused partner?
Yes, if conversations revolve only around campaign performance, if there's no discussion about retention or expansion, if sales alignment isn't part of the strategy, if revenue forecasting isn't integrated, that indicates a launch mindset, not a growth mindset.
What's the biggest advantage of having a long-term GTM partner?
Consistency. Markets reward consistency more than bursts. A long-term partner builds compounding growth. Instead of reinventing strategy every quarter, you evolve it. Compounding optimization beats episodic launches.
If you had to summarize the difference in one line?
A GTM launch partner helps you enter the market. A long-term GTM partner helps you dominate it.
Any final advice for leaders evaluating their GTM partnerships?
Ask 3 questions. Are we building campaigns or systems? Are we optimizing leads or revenue? Are we planning for momentum or sustainability? Your answers will reveal what kind of partner you need.
That was incredibly insightful. To everyone listening, launching successfully is important, but sustaining growth requires strategic infrastructure. The real difference between a GTM launch partner and a long-term GTM partner lies in mindset, metrics, and ownership. Taran, thank you for sharing your perspective.
Thank you, Akanksha. Great conversation.
And thank you to our listeners for tuning in to the Growth Diggers podcast. If you're thinking about your GTM strategy for the next phase of growth, this is the time to evaluate whether you need momentum or compounding revenue systems. We'll see you in the next episode.